universal sound for let's get started. All right. Good morning. Welcome back. Hope everyone had a wonderful holiday break. It's great to have everybody back on campus, and next Monday we'll have our students back and get started on the spring semester in earnest. But today our job is to just welcome everybody back, give you a little bit of professional development opportunity, and get ready for the next semester. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Haas, and we'll get started. Again, welcome back. Hope you had a great break.
Okay, good morning. We're going to start from the bottom of the list today because we have a very exciting announcement by Mr. Gooch. So, Josh, take it away. Yes, I don't know how we're going to run around today. So, jump in.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Haas. We do have a new head football coach that is here today, and with his staff. His name is Drew Dallas. If Drew, you'd stand up and wave to him. So. I think everybody that gets to come here, whether they have been here before or not, and are promoted or whatever else, it's exciting for them. So, also Sarah Lemons, assistant athletic trainer. Sarah is here. If you'd stand up and take a wave. And then somebody that is returned with us, I have not seen her this morning, not for sure if she's here, but assistant volleyball coach Tori Provencio. So we can give her a clap, maybe she can hear it somewhere. That's all, thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back from the records office. We had a great break and got a lot of students' stuff taken care of, as well as hiring 2 new employees for our team. Deb Moss left us to move back to Topeka, and in her place we have Christina Sittler. Christina, please stand up. Christina had the good fortune of training with Deb Moss for 1 week, so she is ready to go. She is excited about our new conclusive design system and is going to be here to help us as we work through that process on campus. We also have Dina Anderson, who has joined us. Please stand up, Dina. And Dina is going to help us get all of our students' transcripts organized, coming into the college and going out of the college. Thank you.
Good morning. I would first of all, in the Finance and Operations Division, I'd first like to introduce the new facility staff. So if you are here, would you please stand as I call your name? The first 3 employees are new custodians, and their names are Timothy Brown, David Wellington, and Penny LeBlue. Is Penny here? Hey, there she is. And then we also have a new lead grounds person, and his name is Derek Weigel. And in the Child Care Center, we have 2 new child care assistants, and I'm expecting them to be over there watching the children. But I will go ahead and introduce them, and we can give them a round of applause as well. Paula Stuckey and Samantha Thompson are our new assistants.
Good morning. The Workforce Development and Outreach Division has several new people that we want to introduce this morning, and I'm going to have Christy Torgerson introduce her staff first, and she'll be followed by Dave Mullins.
Good morning from Outreach. Couple of new faces that we have in outreach. I'm going to start with Trish Reed, if you would stand, Trish. Trish, oh, go ahead. Trish is our new academic advisor at the McPherson Center, and she actually has been with us for a few months, so she's ready to roll and meeting with students. We also today have Mike Hauser. Mike, if you would stand. Mike's first day is today, and he is our new Associate Director of Outreach at the Newton location.
So we've got a few new folks in outreach and somebody in a new position. We've got Crystal Dye is in a new position. She is now coordinator of the Safety Academy. And joining her there as a new trainer, we're excited to have Humberto Jimenez. Humberto's been training with us. He's a great addition. He's been with us for a couple months already and brand new to us, and I believe is out training today as a good new employee. She's been with us about 2 weeks, is Brenda Neal. For continuing education in the EMS area, Connie Smarsh has moved over to that position. So Connie, congratulations. She's been doing CPR and first aid training for a long time for us as a part-time employee, so we're wonderful to have you as the EMS coordinator. And then lastly, we have, but not least, we have as our new apprenticeship coordinator, Amy Van Winkle. Thank you.
Brad, do you want to introduce Molly? I don't know if Molly's here, because it's, okay.
We have one new person in Rimmer. She actually was with us most of the fall semester, but our new evening test proctor is Molly Purser.
Well, Stan is coming. We have redone our basement at Lockman, and so Stan has been displaced for quite a while, and he's happy to maybe get back to his old home.
Yes, pray for us. We're moving today, so it's all good. It's all good. Adult education, we have two new people. Joseph Salas comes back to us from another position, but he was with Hutch Community College before. He's our transition coach now and doing a wonderful job. And we also have Kelsey Bean. You will meet her at some time, I hope. She's a new adult education instructor here at the campus and at the McPherson Center. Thanks.
Ben and Jillian, you want to introduce Jim?
I think you can all hear me. In Department 2, we just have one new addition, Jim Shannon. Jim is our new trainer in automation and manufacturing engineering technology.
Thank you, Ben. Debbie and Todd?
Debbie's with students, so yes, what we did this morning. Welcome back. We've got a few new people in Department 1. Start with Jennifer Desmond. Jennifer? Jennifer's taken over from Jeannie Miles as coordinator for our healthcare training program. And then she's joined by, we've got two new secretaries with that Department 2. We have Angela Dunsworth, Contrell, thank you. I don't have my glasses. Teresa Lair. And then joining us for our ADN program is replacing Stacy Lewis is Kelsey Francis. And then Rebecca Poland's actually been with us since August. She's with our radiology program.
And then we have one new person joining us in my office, Aaron Smith. Aaron comes to us from Florida. Aaron has the very important job of trying to matriculate students who are under those SB 155 or now Excel CTE classes that are taken in high school to try to get them to inspired to come to our technical programs here at the college. So he's going to be out and about doing a lot of work in the high schools, hopefully, and recruiting for our programs. So we're very happy to have Aaron. And then Dr. File, you have Radio Kansas. Do you want Ken to jump up here? And Happy Ken, yes. Yes, Happy Ken. And then Dr. File.
Okay, I have a new announcement. This is she I guess reports to me, but it's a campus-wide hire, and that's Bria Turner. Bria is our coordinator of strategic enrollment management. Okay, Ryan, where are you at, Ryan?
Yep,
Ryan.
he's here.
Will you come up and just go over the agenda? There have been a few changes. Want to make sure we get those on the get those on the schedule, and then we'll have the employee of the semester. So, Ryan?
Good morning and Happy New Year. I have a few changes to the schedule, as Dr. Fallon mentioned. First, the Fine Arts and Humanities will be meeting in the Justice Theater. Then also the Public Safety meeting is going to happen at 3:30 on Tuesday, not on Monday. And then also the Wednesday session, the Tools to Help Students Face Fears and Thrive. It's mentioned on the back at 11 o'clock. It is at 10 o'clock. The updates to the schedule will be made and will be available on HTC Web Services later on today. Also, as a reminder, definitely, if you're interested in attending the CPR AED training or the Stop the Bleed to Save a Life training that's happening on Wednesday afternoon, be sure to RSVP by noon on...
Slow down there, not catching. I'm not catching.
Sorry.
So public safety is 3:30 on Tuesday?
Yes, 3:30. Yes.
It's published there.
It is, but this was a update to the schedule that was emailed out.
Okay.
But yes, with the correction. And then also, if you are interested in attending the Kansas Highway Patrol's defensive driving course that is happening on Friday all day, and which is highly recommended for those that are driving 15-passenger vans for the college, please RSVP by the 8th. Okay.
So one more time.
Okay, one more time as far as the corrections, very slowly. Sorry about this again. 1 p.m. on January 7th, Fine Arts and Humanities will be meeting in the Justice Theater. And the original schedule that was emailed out had a public safety meeting on Monday, but it is at 3:30 on Tuesday, and Fire Science 111. And then also on Wednesday at 10 o'clock is when the Tools to Help Students Face Fears and Thrive. The description on the back had mentioned 11. All of these changes will be updated and will be available on HTC Web Services later on today.
And who should take the defensive driving?
Everyone should take the defensive driving. It will also help you with your own insurance and with your own driving skills. It is taught by the Kansas Highway Patrol. We have representatives from there. And yet again, if you are driving a 15-passenger van, then for HutchCC, definitely please sign up. Okay, thank you. Yes. What time do they need to RSVP? RSVP, once again. The CPR for the Wednesday, CPR, Stop the Bleed, those two sessions by noon tomorrow. And once again, defensive driving, RSVP by Wednesday, the 8th. Okay, thank you.
Okay, now we're going to have employee of the semester. Brooks.
Good morning. Okay, pretty good. You've been through it several times already this morning. So. Thank you for the great nominations we received for Employee of the Semester for fall of 2019. They are greatly appreciated. I would like to announce the committee members who made this always difficult decision, and they are supposed to be present today. Sharon Eichhorn. Is Sharon here? Oh, there she is. Okay. Marie Janikin. Marie always sits over here. Good deal. Ryan Deal, who you've seen this morning. And Corbin Strobel. Is Corbin here? Oh, there he is, way up in the corner. I want to thank all 4 of those people for serving on the committee. It is very difficult to read about your peers, and then out of that great nominating information to choose who should win Employee of the Semester. So I appreciate their service on that. A few items about our fall 2019 Employee of the Semester is, this person approaches their position with kindness, humor, skill, expertise, and makes everyone feel welcome who comes into that department. Our Employee of the Semester for fall 2019 is Anita Bile, who was Director of Accounting Services. Did we surprise you?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't feel deserving.
Another accolade is all of the work she put in for our new purchase order system. And if you work with purchase orders, you know how great the new purchase order system is. And so everybody involved in that, we want to thank very much for that. You also get $100, so we will get that added to your paycheck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anita. Congratulations.
All right, next on the schedule are some campus updates. I'm going to save my comments till the very end because I know that you'll be more interested in listening to these other campus updates. But we will start with Tina Peavyhouse, Wellness. Tina, where are you at? All right.
Just if you have any information on the wellness, for the wellness committee, just email wellness, and we'll be glad to answer those. For those of you who are finishing up your first 6 months of the $50 insurance rewards program, that ends February 29th. So be sure to get your application in. We're trying to give away that $10,000 pot. Be sure to get your slice of the pie.
Okay. Any questions, just direct them to Tina. Next on the agenda, we will have Tricia Paramore, and Tricia will come up and talk about our strategic planning effort, where we're at, where we're going.
Happy New Year. Just a quick update on our strategic planning projects that are current. I'm just going to go down the list. Our first one is completion tracking, and this is one that we've been working on since 2015, 2016, and it's coming around. We're getting to that point where we're actually going to see some work that you get to see. There's been a whole lot of work going on behind the scenes, but many of you are aware that Conclusive Systems is the new degree audit, degree tracking system that we have purchased through a lot of vetting. There's been just a lot of background work that's gone into this. There was some on-site training that was available for quite a few folks on campus in middle November, and this particular group, Conclusive Systems, is very interested in partnering with Hutchinson Community College to make an audit tracking system that is personalized to us, that meets our needs, and it's not just some canned system. And so they were very receptive to a lot of the ideas that we had and suggestions that we had for changes to again, kind of customize it to meet our needs. So that is ongoing, and I believe there are some, there's at least one session here in the next couple of days for advisors to learn a little bit more about Conclusive Systems with Christopher Lau. Strategic enrollment management is our next project. Bria Turner, who you met a little while ago, many of you have already met her, has been working very diligently since middle fall when she was hired to kind of learn more about Hutchinson Community College and what our needs are as far as strategic enrollment management is concerned. Her goal at this point is to kind of work together with all of us to build a strategic enrollment management system that works for us, that is, again, customized to us and meets our needs. The developmental education project is getting ready to wrap up. They continue to work on bridge module development, and I know that there are quite a few people that have been working very diligently to develop quite a library of those and continue to do so. That project will be continuing, but in a different capacity. They will be listed under the Teaching and Learning Committee here probably within the next couple of months. The high school portal project appears to be progressing very well also. There are 5 high schools that have been involved in putting that pilot, or in creating that system with us: Hutchinson, Bueller, Nickerson, Inman, and Heston, I believe. And they are all, since they were involved in developing that portal, they are the ones who are piloting that project right now, giving a lot of feedback in order to fix bugs and whatnot, but I believe that they're actually enrolling students through that system now. Dining services you're going to hear about from Julie here in just a little while is ongoing, and you can see progress is occurring over there as well at the Parker Student Union. So those are our current projects and kind of the status of those. Just an update on new projects. We are, since a couple of these are going to be rolling off and kind of being finalized here in the next couple of months, we are accepting proposals for new strategic planning projects that are due February 28th, okay? So it's the last work day of February. And those are, if you just want to send them to me, those are coming through committees, divisions, et cetera. So those completed project proposals are due, again, February 28th, and will be reviewed to begin in the fall of 2020. Thank you.
I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Dr. Paramore for helping lead this project. I also want to offer the invitation to anyone that if you feel you haven't been involved in the strategic planning effort or in the process, please contact Tricia and we'll find a place to plug you in. This is a campus, we hope this is a campus-wide, community-wide process, and would welcome anybody's input. So thank you for, Trish, thank you for that. Next, we're going to have an update from Julie Blanton on the aforementioned dining facility expansion. So Julie will come tell you where we're at on that and again, where we're going.
I do appreciate what Tricia had to say. There really is progress being made over there. On the outside of the building, if you'll recall when we first rolled out this project, we're actually going to be building a completely new kitchen. So that means we'll need new foundation, new footings, new stem walls, all of that. And before that can be done, we had to remove all of the utilities, move and or expand or upgrade them. And when I say utilities, I mean the data lines, the water, the sewer, the electrical, the gas service, everything. So it's taken a little bit longer than we had anticipated. The other hang-up that we have dealt with is, as you know, with utilities, you always have a utility service provider. So unlike working with just your general contractor, we have to be at the mercy sometimes of those who are giving us our water lines or our utility, our electrical power and our natural gas power. So it is moving along a little bit slower than we had hoped or anticipated. But it is moving along. We are almost done with all of the utility movements. The main one that we're still waiting on right now is electrical. And as you can tell, if you have been out there recently, we are starting to see some groundwork being done, some concrete work being done for the pad that will be poured. Once the pad is poured, then we will start putting up the walls and everything for the new kitchen. And then that's going to be exciting because that's when you'll really see progress. On the inside of the building, on the inside of the Parker Student Union, we have already started to take portions of the union, particularly the northeast portion of the basement. That has all been sealed off. We did asbestos abatement in that area over Christmas break, and then we started on demolition. And so, as you know, anytime you're working in a building where there is demolition going on in some portion of the building, please be aware that there's going to be dust, there's going to be noise. Things are not going to be going on as you would normally expect them to. So we do appreciate your patience with all of that. Demolition of the basement area that we're going to remodel is about 40 to 50% complete, and so we anticipate that that portion will be done as well. That will be closed off during the entire time that the remodel is going on. So from demolition and then new construction, that whole area will be closed off. The weight room area that we have, or the fitness center that we have, that is still open. Some of the pool tables, and I don't remember if one pool table is down there, but I know that we've tried to put some of the ping pong tables down there so that students can still have some recreation down there. All of the classrooms that are on the south end of the basement are still open and available. All of the bookstore functions are still open and available. That stairway will still be available, the main stairway, and also the elevator. For anybody who needs assistance going up and down, that will still be available. If you have any questions or any concerns as we go through this construction project, please feel free to reach out to me on that. The last thing I want to say about the update is Dr. File had asked me to give you kind of an idea of when I think construction will be complete. I'm not going to give that to you now because I don't know. What I can tell you right now is we had originally anticipated that this entire project would be complete and we could open it up before the start of, or by the start of school next fall. I can tell you that's not going to happen. But what I don't want to say is it's going to be mid-September or mid-October or mid-August. I don't know that yet, but as we do know those things, we will definitely let you know. Also, I do want to say that food service will continue in the Parker Student Union right now, so students will continue to be going there to the cafeteria to eat, even during the construction progress. If that changes, or when that changes, it will eventually change, but we're hoping to do that over the summer when we have fewer students. But if that changes, we will absolutely make sure that everybody knows. So any changes, anything we shut off, anything that we decide needs to be moved, we will definitely try to let everybody know and give you as much time as we can.
So, Julie's smarter than I am, because I would have probably given you a date, and missed it. So, probably before next year's graduation, we can probably count on that. But other than that, I'm not going to be able to pin her down, I don't think. Yeah. Well, a construction project like this with the all the complexities involved, and especially remodels, things come up that you just can't anticipate. One of the big ones was we thought we had an abandoned fire suppression system. Turns out it was a well, right? You cap them differently, apparently. And so things like that come up and on the plans it said abandoned fire suppression system. So I know they're working on it hard. Nobody wants to get this done any quicker than Julie and I, because there are some inconveniences, and we'll just go on with that. Let's ask Dr. Haas to come up and talk about our HLC effort. We have a report that's due this summer. We're working on it right now. And again, this is just like strategic planning. Please give your input when you have the opportunity.
Okay, good morning again. The Higher Learning Commission, when they visited us in 2015, said that we had 3 areas of concern. One was academic assessment, one was program review, and one was strategic planning. And most of those processes were in place, but we didn't have enough data to prove the longevity of what they thought we needed. So we have worked very hard since 2015 to create a lot of documentation. And for faculty, you know that you've been putting your information in your assessment reports per Ryan and the assessment team, and they have also been working on rubrics for general education, and we have done a lot of work on the general education rubrics. So Ryan has been putting together all of the information that you submit into annual reports. So he has done a good job of summarizing assessment. So we look very good. I mean, our assessment of general education is as high as it's ever been. So you should be very proud of that fact. And as a college, we're very proud of that fact. So that's going well. Also, in his annual report, he has been documenting the program reviews that aren't sexy, they aren't building projects, you don't see about them, you don't hear about them, but again, faculty are doing those in small groups with their department chairs, coming up with plans, writing things that are needed, explaining things that have happened, and again, those are part of our annual report. So we feel that assessment and program review are in good shape, thanks to the assessment team and all the faculty and Ryan Deal. The third thing that we were criticized about was our strategic planning. And it wasn't that we didn't have a process, but we didn't have a visible process, and we didn't have a lot of documentation. And again, thank you to Tricia Paramore, thank you to the team, thank you to the advocates, thank you to everybody that's been putting that information together. We have plenty of writing to support strategic planning is alive and well at Hutchinson Community College. So we can answer those three concerns, we think, without a lot of ruckus. The other thing that we learned when we went to the Higher Learning Commission is that we do not have to reinvent our wheel. We can take the report that was written in 2015 and update it. And that is what Jana McCarran and Ryan Deal and I have been doing since we found that out about 2 years ago. So, to you, we say, please come to the faculty development session at 9 a.m. On Thursday in Justice Theater, so we can kind of show you where we are and what we've been putting into those reports, things that committees put together, the new writing that we've done, all the mission study that we did. It's all in there in a draft format. So we don't really want to hand out written reports. It's not done yet. We're still working on it, but we can put it up on an overhead and show you where we are and ask for feedback and help and support. So that's kind of the plan. We will have a team who will read our report. They will not visit the campus. The 4-year reports, there's a 10-year, which is what we did in 2015. Then there's a 4-year checkup to see that we are still on target and doing what we say we are doing and supporting our mission as we say we're supporting it. The problem with the 4-year report, and I've served on many of these teams, is that you're hitting a new report. They won't be the same team. They won't have read the 2015 report. God help them, we hope they would, but they probably won't. They'll get this report about a month before it's due. So we still have to prove all of the things that we had to prove in 2015. So all of the attachments, all of the information that we need will still have to be available to them. They will go through it with a fine-tooth comb, just like the 10-year report, and then they will write a response to us. So this is all a kind of a paper pencil report, which is a little frightening. I mean, I've served on many of them, and people think, well, this college isn't any good because we didn't see everything by visiting. And that's the scary part about the 4-year report, is that they don't get to come and visit and see how wonderful we are. They don't get to talk to people. All they see is the flat report. So it's really got to be good. And so we need lots of eyes looking at it and lots of help and lots of support. So that's kind of where we are. It's not to scare us. I want to again reiterate our 3 concerns we've got covered. We feel very good about it. We've done lots of work. Hutchinson Community College is a great college. Let me tell you, I've looked at a lot of colleges. We are a great college. We just need to get that in that report so that it's a very good written report. Okay? So, any questions? I guess if you think about any questions, come to the faculty development session at 9 o'clock on Thursday morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Haas. Please come to that session and give your input. And if strategic planning, a building update, and the Higher Learning Commission reports weren't enough to get your blood pumping, get ready, strap in. Lauren Morris, cybersecurity. This will be great.
I don't know that I can live up to a build-up like that. I've never had a build-up like that before. I feel like there should be a walk-on song or something. Maybe not. I want to share some statistics with you, and I'm fighting something in my throat, so my apologies if my voice sounds a little crackly this morning. But hardly a day goes by where we don't hear about some sort of information breach across our nation, and certainly here at Hutchinson Community College, we've had our share of them as well. Cybersecurity and the protection of digital information is becoming a real epidemic for us as an organization and for us as a nation. And we recognize this in IT, and last October we put in a protection plan, if you will, to do what we could to help protect you and our students. And these are some statistics from that security system. These statistics were gathered on December 18th and or for a period 30 days prior to December 30, 18. So what you're seeing up here is a 30-day window of time. And so these are statistics from our email filter. You can see that we processed 329,000, roughly 500 emails during that 30-day window, scanning 22,550 mailboxes coming in. And on the right, you can see the statistics of those things that were cyber attacks, if you will. We had, I think that's 65,408 spam that were blocked during that time. We had 3,542 DLP. That stands for Data Loss Protection. These are emails that contain sensitive information that we stopped, did not allow to go through. We had 123 viruses. We always think of viruses as a big threat for us. That's no longer the big threat for us as an organization, just 123 of them. We had 8,532 attempts to log in as one of us from the outside into our systems during that 30-day period. We blocked 77,000 or almost 80,000 real-time block lists, and most of those are going to be phishing attempts targeted at you. We also had recognized 14,500 ourselves that we blocked from allowing to get in. And we had 811 what we call advanced threats. Now these are threats that are firewall, that are antivirus, and that our email filter worked together to identify on our network and stop before they could become a problem. Most of these attempts were like ransomware attacks that we had. Those are very significant for us, 811. If you add all those numbers up on the right and compare it to the number on the left, over half of the email that we receive is an attack on us. Let me say that again. Over half of the email that we receive is an attack on us. That's pretty scary, pretty significant. And attacks usually start with a phishing attempt, an email that we receive that's pretending to be somebody else that's trying to get us to take action to do something that we shouldn't do. In fact, phishing is the primary way in which cybersecurity attacks begin, and we've all seen them. In October, I don't know if you can relate to this or not, but our amount of phishing attempts that were happening before October were significantly more than after October because we implemented this security feature on our system. But nonetheless, there is always going to be a certain amount of phishing attempts that's going to come through to your accounts. And if you have an account that has access to other people's information, that includes, I believe, everybody in this room, then you're going to be attacked. You just are. Things are going to get through. And we need to be prepared for it, for protection of our students' information and also for the protection of our information. A good rule of thumb is if you're sharing other people's information, please think about who you're sharing it with and why you're sharing it, regardless of what that information is. That's going to be the best way. The next step in our cybersecurity strategy here at HutchCC Community College is to institute what we call a software program called Phish Threat. Phish Threat is a product made by Sophos. Sophos is the same people that have our antivirus and our firewall and our email filter. And I want to be very transparent about this because I know it's not necessarily going to be a popular thing to do. But what Phish Threat will do is Sophos will send out sample phishing emails to us to see how good or bad we are at identifying them. Our current phishing emails that we've measured so far have around a 12 to 15% failure rate, meaning that 12 to 15% of us on any given phishing email will take some sort of negative action on that, like replying to the email or engaging or actually following through with whatever the perpetrator wants. And so a large part is painfully obvious to us of our security strategy that we have to give you the tools, the knowledge, the experience, the ability that you need to have to protect the information that you have access to as well. So I'm here today to give the popular message that we're going to be phishing you. And we're going to be starting that this semester. These will be random. Please spread the word to those that aren't here. We aren't trying to hide this in any way. We want this to be above board and on top of the table so everybody knows about it, everybody can understand what's going to happen, and certainly, if you have concerns or questions about this that you want to come visit with me about, I'd love to talk to you. This is a really serious thing. We aren't doing it in any kind of a way to offend or belittle anybody in any way. That's not our intention. Our motivations are purely to protect the information that we have been granted custodians of. That's really it. Before I go on, I'm going to quick ask for if there's any questions at this point. Yeah. Hi. Let me repeat that question. So last October, when we instituted this new system, you started seeing banners pop up on emails whenever an external email would come in to your system. And the question is, if it pops up red, does that mean the person is a bad guy? In this case, her husband. The answer is no, not necessarily. The banners are there to give you information so that you can make a decision and to help you in that decision. They aren't there to make the decision for you. What the banners are is an electronic indication of how well our system knows about the other system. It does authentication checks, 3 of them. If it passes all 3 of them, it comes with green. If it only passes a couple of them, it comes with yellow. If it can't pass any of them, it comes with red. It is an indication of a potential security risk, high risk, but it's not the complete indication of it. And as more and more systems become more and more sophisticated, you're going to see more and more green banners and less red banners. So it's the way that the systems are communicating together. In this case, Fort Riley military post They probably have some security things where they don't want this authentication to come through, and that may be why it's posting as red for us. Not sending emails fine. Sending emails with sensitive information in it is not fine. All right. Okay. Please, I'm sure we could take questions all day, but if you have questions or concerns, please come see me, see your IT support person. We'd be glad to talk to you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Jackie's question is, if you get a phishing email, what should you do? The answer to that is forward that email as an attachment to spam reporting, then delete it. And empty your trash. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Fowler. He's been through the training. Delete the email then, but don't remove it until you forward it to spam reporting as an attachment. And also, if you've fallen for it, don't delete it. We need to have it to find out how serious the event is. If you've fallen for it, don't remove it. When we get it in spam reporting, we're going to be monitoring. We monitor spam reporting for these coming in. If we see several things coming in, they're all similar, that's an indication for us as IT to take action on it. So we do look at the information coming in through spam reporting, and we do take action on it. In fact, many of these 14,577 that you see the second line up as internal blocks were blocks because of people reporting to spam reporting. Okay, thank you. All right. So awareness of cybersecurity is becoming an extremely critical thing. Cybersecurity has long surpassed drug as the most lucrative crime out there. Information is powerful and very expensive. And you would think common information wouldn't be that. Who would want the information that we have? Believe me, there's information that we have that people want for illicit purposes. And for that reason, this year, for the very first time, we're establishing what we call a cybersecurity award. This award will go to individuals an individual that has gone above and beyond to protect HutchCC Community College, which means they've had to become knowledgeable, they've had to recognize, and they've had to take action. The recipient of this year's very first cybersecurity award actually recognized one of our web pages as being unsafe. It was not encrypted, and it was transmitting student financial information. She reported it, and she stuck to it until it was resolved and fixed. This year's, the first ever cybersecurity award goes to the business office, Beth Oliver. Beth. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The award says, HutchCC Community College Cybersecurity Award presented to Beth Oliver for fall 2019 in recognition of an outstanding effort to protect digital information. HutchCC Community College. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren, for scaring the bejesus out of all of us. You know, Lauren, I think he mentioned this in there somewhere, but I think it bears mentioning. I'm going to say never, and that's a word we should never use, right? Our English people would tell us that that's probably not a great word to choose, but never transmit personal identifiable information in an email, whether it's yours, whether it's a student's, whether it's your spouse's, unless you got a problem. There's just, because it's unencrypted and you don't know, 90% of the time you may not know where it's going. So there just is no reason to ever transmit personal identifiable information across email. What I've taken to doing, if I get even what I think are legitimate requests for information, I call the person who's on the email, but I take it one step further. I go to the website and I find the number of the company. I call the company and ask for the person. So there's just not enough protection you can do. You can give away information quickly that you can never get back. So thank you, Lauren, for that. It's the reason this is important, not just because we want to protect students' information and our employees' information, but there are fines that can be levied. There are monetary damages that can be levied. If we don't protect students' identifications, the Department of Education can get persnickety with us. So it really has become a critical business function that we have to make sure that we're taking care of. So, Lauren, thank you for that. Now, with that, I'm going to transition into a different mode now and talk about some good information, some good stuff, all right? I'm going to start out with two items that I don't know. How many of you know that Hutchinson Community College is an Aspen Award nominee? How many of you know that? Okay, great. How many of you know what that means? Okay, I'm going to tell you what we've been nominated for the Aspen Award. It's a 2-year cycle. We've been nominated for the last 4-year cycles, or for the last 4 cycles, so 8 years. I'm going to read to you what the Aspen Award nominee announcement letter comes out. I'm just going to read the first paragraph. It says, the Aspen Institute College, this was in November 5th, 2019. We knew about it a couple weeks before this, but there was an embargo on it. So the Aspen Institute College Excellence Program today named the nation's top 150 community colleges eligible to compete for the $1 million Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence, the nation's signature recognition of high achievement and performance among America's community college, based on strong and improving student outcomes, included in learning, completion rates, employment rates, and earnings and equity. 15% of community colleges nationwide have been invited to apply for the Aspen Prize. So there's 150 colleges nationwide that are asked to apply for the prize. We haven't applied for a couple of reasons. One, we're working on a number of other things that we need to make sure we get in place first. And the Aspen Award, winning the Aspen Award prize is much like winning the Deming Award. It takes an enormous amount of effort and resources to win it. Maybe in the next cycle we'll consider a project, but this time we chose not to apply. But it's an honor just to be included in the nominee list. They use publicly available data that they can attain. They don't ask us for any information. They go out to iPads, they go to state sites, they do a number of other things. And the last 8 years, we've been nominated. I think there are only, and Denny, I hate to put you on the spot, 6 other colleges in the state of Kansas? If that. So it's not an award that everybody gets. And it's not an award that you might, in fact, and of those colleges, I think 3 of them are tech colleges, because completion is so critical to the Aspen Award program. Not just getting people in the door, but getting them in the door, which is still our mission, but getting them out with a degree or certificate or a transfer to a 4-year university. So again, congratulations, give yourself a round of applause. The next thing I want to talk about, I just got this morning, so I'm going to bring my email up. Hold on just a second. change my email. I change my password all the time and I can't remember it. Hopefully, yeah, okay. I was gonna say, hopefully I'm not just broadcasting it up here. I got this morning, and I thought it was really interesting when it came. We'll thank Robert Milkey for sending this to me. He titled the email, Best Community Colleges in Kansas by MSN. Bringing this up, how many of you recognize that? I'm going to read the headline to you. The best community college in every state. Kansas, Hutchinson Community College. We all knew it, right? We all knew it. So it gives some statistics, talks about student-faculty ratio, talks about our acceptance ratio, which is obviously 100%. But then it goes on to say, a major benefit of Hutchinson Community College is the school's transfer agreements with every Kansas Regent University and College, along with over 50 degree programs. Students are pleased with the option to take courses online and attention they receive from professors who go above and beyond to help them understand difficult concepts. So to the faculty, thank you for that. Students say they feel richly prepared for four-year colleges should they transfer, or employment should that be their choice. So again, give yourselves a round of applause. This is about you. I don't know where the rest of the colleges are at, but I don't care, right? I'll just be blunt. Okay, well, we've established we're a great college. We've established a tradition of excellence. We've established that we are the best college in the state of Kansas. We can probably quit, right? Well, unfortunately, that's probably just the start, because we're still suffering from enrollment decline. The enrollment is down for this current semester about 6.5% right now for credit hours. There's an expression, misery loves company, and that's true, because we're all miserable in enrollment right now, but that doesn't make it any easier to take. So we have to continue that quest for excellence. Bria and the Strategic Enrollment Management team, while I expect them to perform miracles, they can only do what we can help them do. So it's all of our jobs and all of our focus to make sure that we're getting students through the door, keeping them while they're here, and then getting them out the other end, right? It's all about enrollment and completion. So I encourage you at 10 o'clock to go to that Strategic Enrollment Management session. It's actually about, somebody read me the title. It's retention strategies, but it's part of the idea, this idea of strategic enrollment management. Okay, I've covered the good news, I've covered the bad news, now I'm going to cover kind of the indifferent. The state of Kansas and Kansas Board of Regents continue to be interesting places. I don't want to overstate that they're being obstructionist or that they're working against us. The Kansas Board of Regents has gotten a new feel to it, and that is, we think we need to have more say and more input into what community colleges are doing. Whether that's in our finances or whether it's in our what courses are technical, they're just being a little bit more activist, a little bit more intrusive. We continue to work with them. I mean, obviously we have to. The law puts us under them as coordinating institutions. We always remind them of one thing: we have a locally elected board, and so please let them exercise local control. You have a fabulous board of trustees. I don't know if you all know that, but if you've never been anywhere else and worked with another board, or you haven't looked around the state of Kansas lately, I'm going to repeat it one more time. You have a fabulous board of trustees, and never underestimate the value of that, because boards can go south real quickly. Not to mention any community colleges, but One community college had 2 board members turn over because they were not happy with the governance and the taxation in their county. So this faction of citizens mounted a campaign to get people elected. We have board members that are having infighting in public through editorials in the paper. Your board's focused on one thing: making Hutchinson Community College an outstanding institution for students. That's what they're focused on, and that's what they want to do. So please don't underestimate that. And if you see a board member or you know the board members, when you see them, thank them. They really are the ones that can drive the direction of a college. You know, our former president used to say a college is only as good as its board. And I would amend that and say a college is only as good as its boards. And of course, it's employees. Because I think that you're the ones that make the college special and excellent. The board's the one that puts the framework in place to allow you to do that. The state of Kansas, there is going to continue to be a push to lower local property taxes or to cap local property taxes. That's just the truth. Many people in the state of Kansas, right or wrong, feel that their property taxes are too high. I don't know too many of us that get up in the morning on December 21st and May 20th and go, yoo-hoo, I get to pay my property taxes today. But that said, the benefit that community colleges bring to communities cannot be overstated. Our benefit is absolutely outstanding. Legislators want things that they can come back to the local citizens and campaign on. The good news is all of our local legislators understand the value of Hutchinson Community College. They understand what we do, but they are just a handful of the legislators. It's something we have to be, we always have to be diligent. We always have to make sure that we're paying attention. That's I'm consumed from about January to April with working with the KACCT on our legislative agenda, and when pop flies are hit, somebody's got to fill them. So that's kind of the number one thing. But they're starting to get into other places in community colleges. This perennial question of, are there too many community colleges, keeps coming up. It's not a question for us to answer. It's a question for local citizens to answer. It's not a question for the state of Kansas to answer. As long as the local citizens are voting a tax on themselves, it's their job to answer it. What I would like to see them get a little more activist about is, how do we ensure transfer from community colleges to universities without loss of credit hours? Because we have this TAAC agreement. We have this universally transferable agreement. The problem is that universities, while they're transferable to the university, they may not be accepted at the college level. Yeah, I've heard somebody say, yeah. So they may not be accepted at the college level. So they're not universally transferable. They may come in as I don't know, Comp 1. Well, that's okay, but it's not really our Comp 1. So we're going to have to retake it. And the university colleges play that game regularly. If you hear from students that they're finding that to be true, if you hear from a student that a class that's on that transfer list did not transfer to a university as that course and was accepted by that college, please contact me, okay? Because I will pick the phone up, because what the regents get to hear a lot are anecdotes. Well, we have these students that, but we can't say, I have Joe Smith, or Joan Smith, that took a college algebra class from us, and when she transferred to fill in the blank state U, they wouldn't take it as college algebra in the college of XYZ. That's the data we need, because I'll guarantee you the regents are interested in this, because it decreases the time to completion and it decreases the cost. Two of the things that the regents are really, really interested in, okay? So please help us with that. If you hear it, let me know, or where's Christopher Lau? Christopher, where are you at? Or let Christopher Lau know. I think Christopher would probably be immensely interested in that. Or Christina Long. Let one of us know. Don't just say, oh yeah, that's too bad. And I know you wouldn't do that. Make sure one of us knows that, because we will drill down and find out why. Many of you were here years ago when we had a problem with our Calc 1 transferring to KU. The reason was there was a piece of it that KU didn't feel we were teaching, so what we did was put an additional 1-hour course that the student transferring to KU could take. That shouldn't have to happen now. And I'm not sure if Calc 1's on the list, but if it's on the list, it should transfer as that class. Okay. I've got 1 more minute. The Martin Luther King activity. I want to remind everybody that Martin Luther King Day they'll take place on January 19th and 20th. And at 3 o'clock on January 19th, 3 o'clock in this building, in this auditorium, Reverend Earl Burkhalter, who is the senior pastor of Strangers Rest Missionary Baptist Church in Wichita, Kansas, will be the speaker. And then on Monday, January 20th at 2 p.m., at the Secondary Missionary Baptist Church, Dr. Philip Finley. So please come out and support the Martin Luther King activities. It's an outstanding celebration, and if you've never been to them, they're quite moving. So please come spend the day with us, one of the days with us, either the 19th or the 20th. Then this year is the Noel Levitz cycle. So your class may be selected for a Noel Levitz survey. If it is, please take it seriously. Make sure your students are doing it, because Noel Levitz is one of the ways we find out the things we need to improve in. So if you're selected, please do that. If you have any questions about that selection process or how you go about ensuring that that gets done, talk to Rex. He would love to talk to you about that. And then finally, I want to take this opportunity to do 2 things. I want to thank Ryan Deal for all the work he does on this. I want to thank Dr. Haas, and I want to thank Marie Janikin, because I know the 3 of them put a lot of work into this. But I want to thank Ryan, because I think he's the one that does a lot of the scheduling and a lot of the work on this, and sometimes things change, so he had to change them today. But right now I want to invite him up here, because the next session is the roundtable about persistence and retention strategies. So let's give Ryan a round of applause. And once Ryan is finished, you are welcome to go for 15 minutes and then go across the hall to the roundtables. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you so much, Dr. File. Good morning once again, and Happy New Year once again. And if anyone has any questions about RSVPs, please let me know. I will get the dates to you. The next session is roundtable retention, the retention strategy with roundtable discussions. This is a follow-up from Tippett and Kirby when they were here in the fall. So we have different people from throughout the campus who will be leading different roundtable discussions. We'll go through 3 cycles. This will be a good chance to talk about different strategies that are currently taking place or ideas for the future that could also be future strategic plans. So I look forward to seeing you across the hallway in the Gallery Theater at 10 o'clock. And at that note, have a fantastic year.